please come to order. At this time, if your audio is on mute, please unmute for the roll call. Ms. Kiss, please call the roll.
Thank you, Chair Bell.
Here.
Trustee Grego, thank you. Trustee Adamson.
Here.
Trustee Arembula.
Here.
Trustee Carney.
Here.
Trustee Clark.
Here.
Trustee Day.
Present.
Trustee Fagan.
Here.
Trustee Farrar.
Here.
Trustee Furstenberg.
Here.
Trustee Fong.
Here.
Trustee Kames.
Here.
Chair Kimbell.
Here.
Lieutenant Governor Kounalakis.
Here.
Trustee McGrory.
Here.
Governor Newsom. Trustee Ortiz-Morfitt.
Here.
Trustee Reyes.
Here.
Speaker Rendon. Trustee Sebelius.
Present.
Trustee Simon.
Here.
Trustee Steinhauser.
Here.
Trustee Taylor.
Here.
Superintendent Thurmond. Chancellor White.
Here.
We have a quorum, Chair.
Thank you, Ms. Kiss. We're going to slightly rearrange our order of business this morning and begin with the approval of the consent agenda, followed by the standing reports, and conclude with special and very likely a very emotional recognition of three of our esteemed colleagues as we mark their last meeting with us today. It's now time for the board to consider the items listed on today's consent agenda. All of the committee items requiring full board approval are listed on this agenda. Trustees, again, at this time, please ensure that you are unmuted.
Chair Kimbell, I would like to remove one item from the consent agenda.
Okay, what do you want to remove?
It is item 6 of the Committee on Finance, the trustees' budget request for separate motion and discussion.
Okay,
And
I move approval of the remaining items on consent.
all right.
Second.
Michelle? I have a motion and a second. Ms. Kiss, please take a roll call. Again, trustees, please unmute.
Okay, thank you to approve the remaining items on the consent agenda. Trustee Abrego.
No. Is that the whole consent agenda or the item?
This is for all of the remaining items except for item 6 on the Committee of Finance, which Trustee Sebelius has requested to remove. So
Sorry.
this would be all other remaining items.
Sorry, yes.
Thank you. Trustee Adamson.
Yes.
Trustee Arembula.
Yes.
Thank you. Trustee Carney.
Yes.
Trustee Clark.
Yes.
Trustee Day.
Aye.
Trustee Fagan.
Yes.
Trustee Farrar.
Yes.
Trustee Furstenberg.
Yes.
Trustee Fong.
Yes.
Trustee Kames.
Yes.
Chair Kimbell.
Yes.
Lieutenant Governor Kounalakis.
Aye.
Thank you. Trustee McGrory.
Yes.
Governor Newsom. Trustee Ortiz-Morfitt.
Yes.
Trustee Reyes.
Yes.
Speaker Rendon. Trustee Sebelius.
Yes.
Trustee Simon.
Yes, thank you.
Trustee Steinhauser.
Yes.
Trustee Taylor.
Aye.
Superintendent Thurmond and Chancellor White.
Yes.
Okay. The consent agenda is approved.
All right. So the items listed on the consent agenda are approved except for the removal of item 6 from the Committee on Finance, approval of the budget. We will now proceed with our standing reports and begin with the Academic Senate of the CSU. Dr. Robert Keith Collins, ASCSU Chair, will provide.
No, I'm sorry, point of order. We need to deal with finance item 6 now, separate.
Oh, I'm sorry.
Thank you. Thank you, Andy. Chair Campbell, may I speak to it and make my motion?
Sure.
I have actually put my motion in writing and staff has it, and I hope they can put it on the screen. I propose, it is on the budget request, I propose to include funding for training of faculty in online instruction in the amount of $9 million to our request for our ongoing operating fund. So based on the responses from the Chancellor to my suggestion in committee discussions yesterday, I adjusted my motion to be included as a request for ongoing funding rather than a one-time item. And I made the amount more modest, in line with more realistic expectations of what the legislators might be willing to fund. This amount, the $9 million, could support the training for approximately 10% of our faculty, roughly for about 3,000 faculty members. I was also convinced that this request is better placed in our request for ongoing funds rather than as a one-year funding request, because such a training will also be needed in years to come and not only in the next year. This is only about 1.5% more than is currently requested. It is a modest ask. It is something that I believe legislators would gladly fund, training of faculty in online instruction, especially in these challenging times. And it would send a signal and clearly show in our budget requests that the administration intends to support its faculty to live up to our current challenges. I thank you for your consideration, and I really wish that the staff could put it up, because I made great effort to put it nicely in writing to illustrate the request and the total that it comes to.
All right, is there any other discussion?
Madam Chair, for purposes of discussion, I'll second it.
All right. All right, Tim? Tim, you're muted, I think.
Chancellor, you're muted, I think.
I was muted. Thank you. Thank you, Trustee Kimball and Trustee Sebelius for this, and Larry for the second. We managed with existing resources to train 60% of over 60% of our faculty this last summer. And I appreciate the sentiment that Trustee Sebelius is bringing for us, but I do want to speak about typical resistance that we have had for good reasons about putting line items into our budget request. We've resisted that over the years because it, quite frankly, will constrain the president's ability to have the necessary flexibility to address the multiple needs with limited resources during the year if there's a line item that tethers certain dollars to only one function in the general fund budget. We've tried to move away from restricted line items in past budgets that don't allow us to adapt to changing needs. And while we know that training is important, there's no doubt about that, and our students have benefited by what campuses funded this last summer. But this budget is for the 21-22 year, for next year. And that's a long ways away in today's world. And our most pressing unfunded need in that year may not be faculty online training, but it might be a new challenge that we cannot yet predict in November of 2020. Case in point, in November of 2019, would we have predicted our current most pressing budget needs that we're facing today? The answer is a resounding no. There are so many high priority budget items that are not funded at appropriate levels at the CSU by quote, setting in stone faculty online training as a set in stone line item. We're restricting our ability to address those other needs and take away flexibility across the campuses. And if we ever head down the road of detailed line item budget, it'll be very difficult in future years. You have to look at this budget process, an arc over administrations to really understand it, how it actually works. And if we went line items, it would be very difficult to regain the flexibility in the future and we need when budgets are growing or when they're being reduced. So what happens, hypothetically, if a line item for online training or for any other issue means that we have to reduce, let's say, faculty positions or our capacity, enrollment capacity, in order to stay within budget. So it is for these important sort of infrastructure reasons around how the CSU has successfully developed with lots of stakeholder inputs over a long period of time and brought to the board in every November a budget request that is reasoned, appropriate, doesn't meet every individual need for certain, but doesn't box us in and maintains the flexibility for presidents to manage their budgets in these in good times and in tough times. So I speak against the motion.
Adam?
Thank you, Madam Chair. For all the reasons the Chancellor just stated, I would make a substitute motion to approve staff's recommendation.
Second.
All right. So Andy, now we would take a vote on that motion or Trustee Sebelius's?
Well, I believe what Trustee Sebelius is proposing is a motion to amend the underlying motion that's on the consent agenda. Is that correct?
I think so.
I think the proper procedure would be to vote that up or down and then to revert back to the main motion, assuming it fails.
All right. So
There wasn't a motion for
His
the
motion
consent
have a
item.
second?
There wasn't a motion on the consent item, Mr. Jones, correct?
I didn't,
Yes, there was.
Trustee-
The motion seconded by Trustee Adamson.
Adamson.
No, I'm saying Trustee Sebelius's motion is the original motion. There was no motion on the consent calendar, so the substitute motion would be in order, correct?
There was not a motion on the underlying consent agenda item. That's correct. That is correct.
So the vote would be on the substitute motion.
It gets you to the same place either way. I guess it doesn't really matter.
But we're trying to expedite to get to the meat of the agenda this afternoon, later this morning.
So I can call the roll call vote now on Trustee Sebelius's motion to amend that was seconded by Trustee Adamson's, and depending on the outcome of that vote, then would be on Trustee Day's vote that was seconded by Trustee McGrory.
Okay.
Correct, Secretary Jones?
Well, Trustee Day is making a substitute motion to approve the underlying motion, which is, we're kind of unnecessarily complicating this, but you could vote on Trustee Day's motion, which is essentially amending Sebelius's motion to negate it and take it back to the original motion. But that's fine.
Right. If we vote for Trustee Day's motion, my motion dies.
That's right. So if you want to vote for the substitute motion that's been moved, I believe it was seconded, then you can vote on that now. And the effect of that will be to approve the agenda item as it currently reads.
Understood.
So it'll get us to the same place. So
Yes, it will.
So as our secretary will vote now on Trustee Day's amendment to the amendment.
Substitute motion.
Ms. Kiss?
Thank you. Trustee Abrego,
Yes.
Trustee Adamson,
Yes.
Trustee Arambula,
Yes.
Trustee Carney,
Yes.
Trustee Clark,
Yes.
Trustee Day,
Aye.
Trustee Fagan,
No.
Trustee Farrar,
Yes.
Trustee Furstenberg,
Yes.
Trustee Fong,
Yes.
Trustee Kames,
No.
Chair Campbell,
Yes.
Lieutenant Governor Kounalakis, Lieutenant Governor Kounalakis. Okay. Trustee McGrory,
Yes.
Governor Newsom, Trustee Ortiz Morfitt,
Yes.
Trustee Reyes,
No.
Trustee Sebelius,
No.
Trustee Simon,
Yes.
Trustee Steinhauser,
Yes.
Trustee Taylor,
Aye.
Chancellor White.
Yes.
Okay, the subsequent motion does pass.
All right. So we don't need any more votes.
That is correct.
All right, so that, the budget passes, correct?
The budget request passes. I wish that was the budget that
The
passed.
budget, no, yes, the budget passes. All right, we will now proceed with our, we'll proceed with our standing reports and begin with the Academic Senate of the CSU. Dr. Robert Keith Collins, ASCSU Chair, will provide his report.
Thank you, Chair Kimball, and good morning to you all. I hope that everyone is doing well and taking good care as well as staying healthy. It's truly an honor to offer this report on behalf of the dedicated senators of the ASCSU. Greetings from the land of the Gwich'in Ohlone in Richmond, California. And just as an FYI, SF State sits on Muwekma Ohlone and Costanoan lands. As this semester comes to an end, and we all continue to enable remote learning, service, shared governance, and the scholarship of teaching and learning, while coping with election fatigue and the reality of just being tired, let us begin today with a focus on common unity. Through the words of SF State alumna, Wilma Mankiller, the first female principal chief among the Cherokee and leader known for listening to her people and letting them speak for themselves. Quote, "The secret of our success is that we never, never give up," end quote. The fortitude expressed by Mankiller is one that I see in the senators of the ASC and ASCSU and all of you. While we can be thankful for this CSU alumna, I'm thankful for your hard work, strength in the face of adversity and criticism, and perseverance and resistance that is characteristic of the Hupa, Gwich'in, Karuk, Kumeyaay, Tongva, and other first stewards and caretakers of the lands that comprise the locations upon which our communities of higher learning reside. It is in this spirit of gratitude that I offer insight into the current efforts by the ASCSU that enable us to never give up on our common unity. The ASCSU met on November 5th and 6th for our plenary, and due to the need for robust debate and discussion, we also met on November 13th. The Academic Senate engaged in a robust agenda comprising 15 resolutions. 5 were approved and 6 appeared in first reading. Those approved included, but were not limited to, the following: culturally responsive, anti-racist mental health services and well-being are critical to CSU success. This resolution follows 2 resolutions which recognize the importance of supporting mental health, the mental health of students, staff, and faculty of the CSU, and that mental health, anti-racism, and well-being are also critical to the welfare of the university community. The next, call for consultation on academic implications of system-wide fiscal decisions. This resolution is primarily a reminder to the CO and the Board of Trustees that, 1, the ASCSU is the official voice of the CSU faculty on matters of system-wide academic and student success concerns, and as the primary consultative body on the academic implications of system-wide fiscal decisions. And 2, the CSU system-wide budgetary decisions should be made in consultation with the ASCSU. 3, the CSU should begin a long-term budgetary approach. And 4, the CSU should focus as much on increasing revenue as on cost cutting. Number 3, on the occasion of the retirement of Chancellor Timothy P. White. This resolution is quite self-explanatory, but it is truly a recognition of the contributions of Chancellor White during his career, and particularly during his time as Chancellor of the CSU system. And number 4, opposition to the CSU Board of Trustees changes to Title V and the CSU Chancellor's Office proposal for implementing AB 1460, the ethnic studies requirement. On the note of speaking for themselves, although this resolution supersedes AS 3403, recommended implementation of a CSU ethnic studies requirement, this resolution represents extensive faculty consultation and enabling a faculty to speak from their experiences while maintaining critical elements from past consultations. It highlights and supports major recommendations from those consultations, such as overlays or GE status for the ethnic studies requirements made by campus senates in and informed AS 3403, with particular emphasis on campus autonomy, stressing the importance of respecting local campus curricular processes and the qualification and approval of courses that meet the new requirement, and asserting that catalog rights should be described and included in the CSU GE breadth policy. Unlike AS 3403, however, this resolution tasks the Board of Trustees to reverse their Title V change and urge the Chancellor's Office to revise the implementation memo in light of recommendations in Campus Senate resolutions. Number 5, adopting and amending recommended core competencies for ethnic studies. The approval of this resolution gives me great excitement. This resolution adopts the amended ethnic studies core competencies approved on November 4th, 2020 by representatives from the Ethnic Studies Council in the CSU, the Academic Senate of the CSU, and the CSU's Chancellor's Office. There were 6 resolutions in first reading, but one I will note for the sake of time, and that is drawing attention to the Dr. Joan S. Bissell Memorial Scholarship. This resolution encourages awareness and support for the Joan S. Bissell Memorial Scholarship created after her passing in her name to acknowledge her many contributions to the CSU. While the words of an SF State alumna can remind us of the fortitude necessary for common purpose and the importance of letting constituents speak for themselves, perhaps the words of a former Fresno State alumnus will remind us of the unity necessary to enable that purpose of student success that we all share. Quote, I also have expressed a more contemporary understanding, namely intellectual empowerment through equitable access to and engagement in excellent education, matched with opportunity for free expression. Indeed, it is the melding of these fundamental understandings of inclusive excellence, equitable participation, and free expression that enables the CSU to meet the needs and growing demands of our diverse global society. Our commitment to the bedrock values of inclusive excellence will remain steadfast, and it is at the core of our day-to-day activities and in the lives of university community members who strive to create just and rigorous learning and discovery environments for all persons, end quote. Thank you, Chair Kimbell. This concludes my report. Thank you, Chancellor White, for your vision of inclusive excellence that you leave in your footprints. And I thank you all for your time, and I'm happy to answer any questions that you all may have.
Thank you, Dr. Collins. Moving on to our next report, President Zaru Kurebit will provide the report from the California State Student Association.
Good morning, Chair Kimbell, Chancellor White, trustees, campus presidents, and guests. Before I might begin my report and updates, several congratulations are in order. Firstly, I want to recognize this year with the astounding numbers of students who registered to vote via the Secretary of State's ballot bowl competition. 21,000 CSU students registered to vote. It is absolutely critical that students are civically engaged and having their voices heard. Second, I wanted to congratulate our 2 incoming CSU presidents, President Beck for Cal State Northridge and President Sandin for Cal State East Bay. We at CSSA are excited in welcoming you to the CSU and working with you. I also wanted to congratulate President Marishta on his retirement from Cal State East Bay and President Harrison from Cal State Northridge. I did want to take a second to share a story that reflects my working experience and my time knowing President Harrison for the several years I was a CSUN student. My first year in leadership, President Harrison hosted CSUN's Associated Students Senate at her house. I remember I was very nervous, but when we all sat down to share our stories, I felt for the very first time as a CSUN student that I was heard, and I truly have appreciated the support you have provided me and the work we have done together. Lastly, a very heartily and warm congratulations to Chancellor White on his retirement. Thank you for everything you have done. Thank you for constantly being transparent and open. I do want to share another story that I've shared with him. It was the very first time I met him. It was at a GI 2025 conference, and he shared with me his story. And I asked him for a selfie, thinking this was the only time I was going to interact with him. However, I am grateful this was not the case. So thank you again, Chancellor White. And if you find yourself with a lot of free time, I recommend you come back as a CSU student and maybe run for CSSA presidency. Now, onto my report. A couple of updates for you all this past weekend. The CSSA Board of Directors has passed a COVID-19 policy agenda to address the unique challenges we are going through as a result of the pandemic. Our first priority is to ensure access to housing, food, financial and wellness resources, as well as technological resources for all CSU students. We really need to focus on increasing access to basic needs, and most importantly, access to laptops, hotspots, and reliable internet. Our second priority is to foster inclusive virtual learning practices that ensure the academic and holistic success of all CSU students. Students have faced numerous academic challenges since the transition to a virtual instruction, so it's important to address the Zoom dynamics and the privacy concerns. Grading policies, in particular, students have been very active in their advocacy for credit and no credit options. Additionally, addressing the proctoring issues and ensuring that our faculty and staff continue to receive the professional development needed to support students. The third priority is to ensure the health and safety of the campus community. Simply ensuring that our campuses are safe for those who are physically present and that our eventual return for on-campus instruction is safe to do so. Our fourth and last priority is to ensure that governance laws meet the needs of a virtual workspace, including reviewing our own documents to reflect the changes to a virtual workspace, as well as ensuring compliance with the Gloria Romero Open Meetings Act, and to identify ways to modernize the law to meet the virtual environment. And most importantly, is for students to be consulted on the budgeting processes and the transparency of the student fees across the CSU. I did also want to take some time to address an ongoing issue with students, which has been parking. Through our research, we have found that students on average pay 3 times more for parking than faculty and staff. The burden of parking fees should not be placed on the shoulders of students. We have also found out that this is a collective bargaining issue. So we hope to see that this is addressed so that parking fees are equitable across the CSU between students, staff, and faculty. Before concluding my report, I did want to give a special thank you to the CSU for working together as one collective in the budget advocacy for basic needs. I want to thank the CSU for including basic needs as a line item as CSSA has requested. A special shout out and heartfelt thanks to Assistant Vice Chancellor Ryan Storm, Vice Chancellor Steve Relier, Chancellor White, Trustee Mariana Kames, Trustee Crystal Reynes for their advocacy and partnership to make basic needs a budget priority. We look forward to the collective advocacy that we will all engage in this incoming spring. With that, I wanted to wish you all a happy holidays, and to students, good luck on finals. Thank you, Chair Kimbell. That concludes my report.
Thank you, Zehru. We will hear next from Michelle Power, President of the CSU Alumni Council, for her report.
Thank you, Chair Kimbell. Today's Alumni Council report highlights a very special Made in the CSU alumna. This alumna shares a story that is relatable to many of our students: immigrant, first-generation student, and product of California's Master Plan for Higher Education, earning both an undergraduate and master's degree from the CSU. All these experiences influenced his leadership and decision-making as the 7th Chancellor of the California State University. Chancellor White, your list of accomplishments is vast and honestly too long to include in my report. I do hope you know what an inspiration you have been to our 3.8 million CSU alumni, encouraging many to pursue their degree and ensuring the system was supporting them every step of the way. Because of your leadership, our graduates have become leaders in the field and continue to propel California forward. It has been an honor to be led by someone that was made in the CSU. We will miss you greatly, but look forward to continuing your legacy. Thank you, Chair Kimbell. That concludes my report.
Thank you for all your reports. I will keep my comments fairly brief today because we have a very full and bittersweet agenda before us. As the weather turns chilly and autumn leaves begin to fall, we find ourselves in the midst of a significant leadership transition at the CSU, bidding farewell to a few of our esteemed colleagues while welcoming both fresh and familiar faces who will usher in a new season of change and progress. At our September board meeting, we recognized the value and committed work of outgoing trustees Becky Eisen and Hugo Morales. Joining us today are 3 new colleagues who will fill their empty seats and round out our discussions with their own unique and valued voices, perspectives, and insights. Governor Newsom has appointed Diego Arambula, Jack Clark Jr., and Ana Ortiz Morfitt to the CSU Board of Trustees, and they begin their terms today. On behalf of the CSU community, I again extend a warm welcome to all of you. We very much look forward to working with you and benefiting from your talent and expertise. Today, we are also conferring emeriti status to Dr. Diane Harrison, who has ably led our Northridge campus since 2012, and Dr. Leroy Marishta, who took the helm at Cal State East Bay that same year. Both of these valued leaders are leaving us at year's end to enjoy a well-deserved retirement. After delaying their retirements to provide experienced and steady leadership in the face of our current global public health crisis. We will reflect more on their accomplishments a little later this morning. Dr. Harrison is leaving her legacy in the capable hands of Dr. Erica Beck, who takes the lead as president of CSUN effective January 11th, and after making an indelible mark as president of CSU Channel Islands. We are also thrilled to welcome CSU alumna and Oakland native Dr. Kathy Sandine as president of Cal State East Bay effective January 4th. Dr. Sandine is currently chancellor of the University of Alaska Anchorage, where she has been a relentless champion of diversity, equity, and inclusion. Also, on January 4th, Central Valley native Dr. Joseph I. Castro will roll his suitcases into Long Beach and unpack his immeasurable expertise and wisdom to become the California State University's 8th chancellor and the first Californian and Mexican American to hold this esteemed position. A first-generation college graduate himself, Dr. Castro, as president of Fresno State, has garnered national attention for recruiting, supporting, and graduating students from diverse backgrounds. We are thrilled he has accepted the invitation to lead the CSU to even greater heights. And of course, this is the last board meeting for our beloved Chancellor, Tim White, who has served our university with vision, strength, and compassion for the last 8 years, and who is retiring in early January. I know we have plenty of Chancellor White fans with us today who look forward to singing his praises a little later. But before we proceed, I must acknowledge the elephant and the donkey in the room. We are certainly still reeling from the most contentious election season in modern memory, marked by deep division, distrust, misinformation, family, friends, and neighbors torn apart, even threats of violence, and warranted concerns for the very system of our democracy. I point this out not to dampen the mood. Indeed, let's hope that our nation is already embarked upon a time of healing and unification. Rather, I mention it to draw a marked contrast to our own system. Let's take a moment to appreciate together. We have very carefully and purposely built a true sanctuary of civility that sustains the forward progress of our university. Of course, we don't always agree on every issue, but within this safe harbor that we steadfastly protect, people of all stripes are welcomed and valued. Discussions are heard, solutions are reached, and actions are taken, all based on the common vision for our students, our state, and our nation. It is a safe harbor secured by decades of steady leadership. Our respect and unwavering commitment to shared governance and academic freedom, our modeling of authentic civil discourse, a culture of caring, and above all, our shared vision and commitment to inclusive excellence and our data-driven efforts to advance equity and success for all students. This harbor has allowed us the luxury of free and productive discussions, creativity and innovation, and the reassurance that comes from complete and enthusiastic buy-in for our core values and the worthy mission across our 23 campuses, and from our leaders, past, present, and future. With direction and common purpose, the CSU has navigated change and challenge throughout its 60-year history. During Chancellor White's tenure alone, the CSU has filled 20 presidential posts with skilled and diverse leaders, endured recessions with prudent fiscal choices directed at student success. We've diversified our workforce and set ambitious goals to eliminate equity gaps. We've endured tragedies and natural disasters that have scarred our campuses, and we've taken on climate change and the opportunity to create sustainable campuses. We've advanced necessary initiatives driven by the very best hopes of our students, even though some of those efforts have occasionally caused growing pains across our campuses. And with creativity and resolve, we've not only survived, but thrived through this unimaginable pandemic. There will certainly be challenges ahead, but I know that within our safe harbor, with decisive, capable, and compassionate leaders, with our rock-solid core values, and with our ever-united vision, we will continue to produce the diverse, talented, and passionate graduates who will go forth and lead our United States into a healthy and prosperous future for all. Thank you very much. Trustees, it is now time for our discussion agenda. As I mentioned earlier, there are 3 action items on today's discussion agenda conferring emeriti titles on 3 remarkable CSU leaders. We will begin with the action item for the conferral of the title of President Emerita on Dr. Diane F. Harrison. The conferral of the title of President Emerita on Dr. Diane F. Harrison is an action item before the board. We will take action first and then close with remarks. Trustees, again at this time, please ensure that you unmute your audio. May I have a motion?
So moved. Second.
Is there a second? Oh, got
Second.
it. Okay, I have a motion and a second. Ms. Kiss, please take a roll call vote. Again, trustees, make sure you're unmuted.
Apologies, Trustee Campbell, a slight technical issue here. Okay, so this is for the conferral on President Diane Harrison. Trustee Abrego.
Absolutely, yes.
Trustee Adamson.
An enthusiastic yes.
Trustee Arambula.
Yes.
Trustee Carney.
Yes.
Trustee Clark.
Yes.
Trustee Day.
Aye.
Trustee Fagan.
Yes.
Trustee Farrar.
Yes.
Trustee Furstenberg.
With gratitude.
Trustee Fong.
Absolutely yes.
Trustee Kames.
Yes.
Chair Campbell.
Yes.
Lieutenant Governor Kounalakis. Trustee McGrory.
Yes.
Trustee Ortiz Morfitt.
Yes.
Trustee Reyes.
Yes.
Trustee Sebelius.
A wholehearted yes.
Trustee Simon.
Yes.
Trustee Steinhauser.
Yes.
Trustee Taylor.
Aye.
And Chancellor White.
Yes.
Okay. Thank you. Congratulations, President Harrison. The resolution is approved.
Wonderful. President Harrison, I know I would want nothing more for my own reputation and retirement than to leave with a reputation like the one you have built, not only for yourself, but for the campuses you have so ably and passionately served, and for the many thousands of graduates who proudly represent our university as CSU alumni, thanks to your courageous leadership and unwavering support. And I just want to say I've attended many CSUN graduations where President Harrison shook thousands of hands. Just incredible, just such a commitment. It's really moving. So President Harrison has devoted her entire career to higher education, advancing academic excellence, strategic leadership, and an unwavering commitment to students, first at Florida State, then at CSU Monterey Bay, and now at CSUN. Florida's loss was certainly our gain, and we can't thank you enough for your 14 years of remarkable service to the CSU. I will now turn it over to Chancellor White to add his comments. Chancellor White?
Thank you, Chair Kimbell, and Diane, congratulations. Diane Harrison, President Harrison is our, quote, senior president, has shined in this distinctive role, displaying remarkable strength and conviction throughout her tenure, but especially in times of turbulence through the past few years. Diane has been a true inspiration for our other presidents and for our senior leaders across the CSU. I know she has also been a shining inspiration for me as well. She has steadfastly adhered to our core values, demonstrating the courage to take and stand by actions to reflect those values that are in the best interests of all of the Cal State University Northridge students, even when met with resistance or by groups advancing an opposing and sometimes adversarial agenda. Diane's remarkable command of issues ranging from online education to intercollegiate athletics to philanthropy exemplifies the breadth and depth of knowledge and skills, the work ethic, the vision, and the daily versatility required to successfully lead a large, diverse, and consequential university campus in America today. Diane has been a president of the CSU for 14 years, having led our Monterey Bay campus for 6 prior to beginning her tenure at CSUN. Her impact will span generations, and she will be greatly missed. And Diane, I offer a special and personal tip of the cap for delaying your retirement to ensure that CSUN had an experienced and steady hand at the helm during the current public health crisis. Diane, we would all be grateful if you would share a few words with us.
Well, thank you, Tim. I am exceptionally humbled by this recognition. I want to thank the Board of Trustees and everyone. It's been my great honor to serve as president of CSUN and to be part of the transformative educational experience and opportunity of the CSU. I've had the privilege to serve for over 14 years for 2 campuses, serving at Monterey Bay, of course, before CSUN, for 2 chancellors, or 2.5 if we count Joe, and with 50 different campus presidents. These years have brought challenges, but always great rewards. Our CSUN students are amazing. They're so strong and ever resilient and inspiring. Our CSUN faculty are talented, innovative, and truly compassionate in and out of the classroom. Our staff and administrators are passionate, productive, and incredibly hardworking. And our alumni are amazing and so very generous. And speaking of challenges, navigating COVID has been one of the biggest. Hours and hours every week have been spent discussing and making difficult decisions to protect my campus within the narrow flexibility provided by our public health officials. But all of what I have described about CSUN explains why we and why other CSU campuses continue to elevate the lives of our California students. Of course, our CSU Board of Trustees, our Chancellor, and colleagues have been instrumental in our ability to make this impact and transform lives on our campus and for me at CSUN. The care, the concern, the authentic support of our students, faculty, and staff have always been the guiding star, publicly and in administratively planning meetings. Indeed, this is what brought me to California from Florida in the first place and supported my unwavering focus. In closing, again, my thanks and my gratitude for the ability to serve in this amazing system and at the helm of one of the most diverse and dynamic universities in the nation, California State University, Northridge. I'm truly honored to have contributed and trust that I leave a legacy of institutional strength, of champions of inclusivity and racial justice, of exceptional pride for our alums, and most importantly, of social mobility and of life-transforming education. Thank you, Chancellor White, Board of Trustees, and my fellow presidents. It's been an honor.
Thank you again, President Harrison, for the indelible mark and impressive legacy you will leave on the CSUN campus and this university. We wish you all the best in your retirement. Our next item is the conferral of the title of President Emeritus on Dr. Leroy M. Morishita. The conferral of the title of President Emeritus on Dr. Leroy M. Morishita is an action item before the board. Again, we will first take action and then close with remarks. Trustees, please unmute. May I have a motion?
So moved.
So moved.
Second?
Second.
I have a motion and a second. Ms. Kiss, please take a roll call vote.
Thank you.
Trustees, make sure you're unmuted.
Trustee Abrego.
Yes.
Trustee Adamson.
Yes, yes, and yes.
Trustee Arambula.
Yes.
Trustee Carney.
Yes.
Trustee Clark.
Yes.
Trustee Day.
Aye.
Trustee Fagan.
Yes.
Trustee Farrar.
Yes.
Trustee Furstenberg.
Yes.
Trustee Fong.
Absolutely, yes.
Trustee Kames.
Yes.
Chair Kimball.
Yes.
Lieutenant Governor Kanalokas. Trustee McGrory.
Yes.
Trustee Ortiz-Morfett.
Yes.
Trustee Reyes.
Yes.
Trustee Sebelius.
Yes, yes, yes.
Trustee Simon.
Yes, thank you.
Trustee Steinhauser.
Yes.
Trustee Taylor.
Aye.
And Chancellor White.
Yes.
Okay. Congratulations, President Morishita. That resolution is also approved.
President Morishita, to me and to thousands of other friends and admirers, you are as much an integral part of the beautiful Bay Area as the Golden Gate Bridge. As a native Californian and graduate of Berkeley and San Francisco State, it was only a short stay at a Harvard Graduate School of Education that was able to pull you briefly away from your California roots. We're so glad you returned and so grateful for your 4 decades of service to the CSU. We hope that you and your ever-present smile will remain a fixture in our state for years to come. I will now turn it over to Chancellor White to add his comments. Chancellor White?
Thank you, Chair Kimball. Leroy's skilled and dedicated service to the CSU spanned 40 years, first at San Francisco State and then at East Bay. He has been a transformational leader at East Bay, one of Cal State's and America's most dynamically diverse campuses. During his tenure, the campus has developed an innovative and holistic student success model with a new emphasis on experiential learning and community engagement. Leroy spearheaded the most successful and comprehensive capital campaign in the campus's history. President Morishita has grown East Bay's influence and reputation in the STEM fields and has demonstrated a passion for promoting STEM study among historically underrepresented populations. And he has fostered pride in the campus among students, faculty, staff, alumni, and the broader community. In addition to being a thoughtful, principled, and mission-focused leader, Leroy also loves a good explosion. The 2013 implosion, I should say, of the seismically unsound 13-story Warren Hall registered a 2.0 on the Richter scale, was studied with great interest by the U.S. Geological Society, and will remain forever in East Bay lore. And it's well worth a YouTube viewing, I might add, if you haven't seen it. Leroy, you have left a Cal State East Bay in a better place than when you found it. It's a campus that is indeed rising in the East. And thank you also for putting off your well-earned retirement to provide experienced leadership throughout this season. Please, Leroy, share a few remarks with us.
Thank you, Tim. And thank you, Lily, for those very kind words. I appreciate it. And thank you to the trustees for granting me emeritus status. Being here at Cal State East Bay, the students, the faculty, the staff have been an incredible time for me these past 9.5 years. It really was remarkable, and I really appreciate all of them. I really want to give a thank you to our students, because it's our students that energize me, that motivate me to do the very best I can for them. COVID-19 pandemic really made this more clear to me than ever when we had to postpone commencement, as we did at all 23 campuses, and not be able to see the joy in the students' eyes and their parents and their family and their loved ones being there to celebrate with 60% first gens and people that never thought they'd get to a college degree. And so that's been the hardest part for me at COVID, not making the decisions, not going through all those meetings with my colleagues, but really not seeing students, not getting that energy and that motivation that they so clearly give to me and make me drive to do what I do, and made this the most worthwhile and wonderful job I've ever had. They are why I wanted to work in higher education. I came to higher education because I thought it was unfair. I grew up in the Central Valley, and half my classmates were Chicano, and most of them weren't directed to go to college. The rest of us were. And I thought that was very unfair. And that's why I chose to go into higher education, and first as a counselor and then do various things, but really to provide access and opportunity to students across California so that they too can have what I got as a first gen, that I got to get a college education, and then to do some things I never imagined possible. Over my time at San Francisco State, Tufts University, and East Bay, I've seen I've been part of over 200,000 graduates, over 50,000 at Cal State East Bay alone. And that's been so rewarding to me. But I do, if I've had any success, it's because of a lot of people all around me. It takes a team, it takes a village, as that the saying goes, to accomplish anything. So I want to give some shout outs to a whole lot of people here, and I'll lump them into categories. I thank all my current colleagues at Cal State East Bay, the faculty, the staff, the administration. They've been remarkable. They care about our students so much, just as President Harrison said at CSUN, and the same thing at Cal State East Bay. Our faculty and our staff are motivated to do what they do for our students. And I think that was the hardest part for them, getting this new president when I came on board, to see whether I believed the same thing and had the same passion that they did. And I think I showed them that I did. Thank you to the campus leadership, current and past, at Cal State East Bay. Thank you, you rock. And thank you to my office team. You have done tremendous work for me. Thank you. I thank all my former colleagues at San Francisco State who regretted me leaving them, but I do thank them for all that they did, and all the colleagues in the Chancellor's office and across all the CSU campuses over my 40 years that I got to know and helped me and guided me and advised me. Thank you to my mentors and colleagues and friends who pushed me to do more, to even strive to reach this point. I thank my 48 presidential colleagues during my span, my 9.5 years, who supported me and helped helped to show the way. And to the 49 trustees that I've served under since I've become president, current and past, thank you. Thank you for entrusting me and believing in me. I thank Chancellor Charlie Reed who trusted and had faith in me, along with Bob Linscheid and the other trustees who decided to give me a chance to be a president here at Cal State East Bay. I really do thank them and appreciate that. Thank you to Chancellor White and my WASC commissioner colleague, undercover boss, and then who became my boss, and great colleague and friend that I greatly appreciate. I have to thank my wife, Barbara. You know, I wouldn't have succeeded without her. I wouldn't have been here without her. I wouldn't have done a lot of things. So thanks to Barbara, our sons, their wives, my 3 granddaughters, my parents, parents-in-laws, and family. I was humbled and honored to have been given this opportunity to be part of the CSU for over 40 years. As a student, been starting as an EOP counselor through many iterations to become president at Cal State East Bay. For a kid that grew up in a little valley town called Delray, 600 people in the town, and I lived outside the town, I never imagined that I could do anything like this. But I was given support throughout my life by so many people to have the chance to do whatever I dreamed of doing, and that was to make a difference in whatever I did. So I do hope that I did make a difference at Cal State East Bay, across the CSU, and in higher education, as was said earlier. But thank you. I appreciate all of you, and go Pioneers.
Thank you, President Morishita. You absolutely did make a difference. And I know I speak on behalf of my board colleagues when I say that we are profoundly grateful for all of your contributions to CSU East Bay and our great university. All the best to you in your retirement. And now for our final action item of the day, and one that might require Kleenex or a box of Kleenex, which I have here, the conferral of the title Chancellor Emeritus on Timothy P. White. As I hinted earlier, we have no shortage of fans today who are very eager to bestow their compliments and best wishes upon Chancellor White. First, representing the 23 campus presidents of the California State University, President Diane Harrison will now share her remarks. Diane?
Thank you, Trustee Kimball. And good morning, everybody, again. I am so pleased to be invited to offer remarks on behalf of the CSU presidents in celebration of Chancellor Tim White, and to have this opportunity to congratulate him and thank him for his tremendous service to the CSU and the people of California. Since 2012, our university system has been fortunate to have benefited from Tim's outstanding leadership and commitment to diversity and inclusion and student success. We all know he led the charge for Graduation Initiative 2025, a transformative effort to improve outcomes and really the lives of our students. This ambitious initiative to increase graduation rates while aiming to eliminate opportunity and achievement gaps is revolutionizing how the CSU serves our students. Tim's commitment to diversity always went beyond mere words to real, measurable actions. His hiring decisions added diversity and women presidents to the fold, modeling his mantra of the importance of diversity of perspectives and experiences to benefit our students. Throughout his time as chancellor, Tim has been a courageous leader, not reacting, but rather defining the path, always toward the North Star, as he likes to say. This was very evident in Tim's stance on how the CSU would respond to the pandemic. But right now, I want to take a few minutes to address something that is close to my heart. That is how Tim related to and worked with the CSU presidents. Leading others is always a balance between directing and empowering, but leading leaders is an especially challenging tension to navigate. Tim was so effective in his role as chancellor because he stepped back and allowed the presidents to own their decisions. He let each campus shine and have its own unique attributes, but still united us as a cohesive university system. When I asked each of the CSU presidents for the words that came to mind when they thought of Tim, 3 in particular were mentioned over and over: passionate, compassionate, and student-centered. And these words describe the essence of Tim's leadership style. He has always been driven by his belief in the transformative power of education and his empathy for all students, especially the underrepresented. When it came to system-wide decisions and implications, Tim would bring us together in the decision-making process. He leveraged the power and the talent around the table to reach solid decisions. And quite frankly, Tim always made good hires, and he took advantage of that. In times of crisis, whether that was a wildfire or the implementation of an executive order, Tim made himself available. He recognized university presidents wanted autonomy, but he also wanted to be a resource to help navigate specific challenges. He cultivated an environment of trust and respect that elevated performance and made it a pleasure to work with him. As the 7th Chancellor of the CSU, Tim demonstrated that leaders lead. He inspired the presidents to tremendous achievements at the 23 campuses, together educating 482,000 students each year. His impact has been enormous and will continue to be felt in the years ahead. Congratulations, Tim. Best wishes to you and Karen as you enjoy your retirement. Thank you.
Thank you, Diane.
Thank you for those very wonderfully articulated remarks, President Harrison. I would now like to offer brief comments on behalf of the Board of Trustees. Tim, while it would be easy to regale our audience with a long list of your remarkable accomplishments as head of the largest and most diverse 4-year public university in the country, I would instead like, for just a moment, to marvel a bit at your character. In the past 8 years, you have indisputably led our university with intelligence, considered yet decisive and oftentimes courageous action, and with superior judgment. But even more impressive, you have done so with your signature humility, compassion, and integrity, honesty, and transparency. You have never given anything less than the utmost respect, a listening ear, and due consideration to anyone who requested your attention. And you have met even the most difficult challenges with an unwavering grace, optimism, and complete trust in the CSU's capacity to deliver on its loftiest promises. In our divided country, these qualities are increasingly rare, and we are so fortunate to have learned and benefited from your example. It's been an honor and a great pleasure to work alongside you. On behalf of the full board, thank you. We have a number of special guests, past colleagues, and partners and friends of the university who have submitted videos in tribute to Chancellor White. Let's begin with one from a few former colleagues, familiar faces to many at this meeting, I'm sure.
Hey, Tim, it seems especially fitting that this reflection on your chancellorship should occur just a few days before Thanksgiving. It's the perfect opportunity for me and my fellow Emeriti trustees to express our appreciation to a friend and a colleague on a job well done. Best wishes.
Thank you, Chancellor White, for your integrity, your compassion, and your courage. Con mucho respeto.
Tim, it was a pleasure working with you during my 4 years as a faculty trustee. Thank you for your dedication to the CSU and the diverse community that it serves. Best wishes for your future endeavors.
Hi, Tim. I just wanted to say thank you for all that you've done for the faculty, staff, and students at the CSU, past, present, and future. And special thanks for the resources and time that you committed to expanding Project Rebound from just one campus to now operating on 14, from Humboldt State to San Diego. All the best to you and Karen.
Thank you, Chancellor White, for your extraordinary service to the California State University system. I hope the next leg of your journey proves very fulfilling.
Tim, thank you for being thoughtful and tenacious.
Hey, Tim. Thank you for having at the core of your leadership a birder's heart. You notice, you care, you appreciate, and you enjoy. And that, my friend, is genuine, not fulsome praise.
Tim, thank you for your enormous heart, your passion for justice, and your love for our students. Your tireless advocacy for the CSU has changed our state, our nation, and the world.
Tim, thank you for your vision and leadership.
Hi, Chancellor White. Thank you so much for your leadership and believing in our students. Wishing you the best in your next journey.
Thank you, Chancellor White, for modeling equity and inclusion and leading the CSU to new heights.
Thank you for always leading by example. Enjoy retirement and stay in touch.
Thank you, Chancellor White, for showing me what it means to lead with integrity.
Tim, thank you for your mentorship and dedication to shaping the next generation of leaders. You make us all proud to be made in the CSU.
Thank you, Chancellor White, for your commitment to the CSU and for using your voice to share student stories that make the CSU what it is today and enrich California.
Oh, wow. That was incredible. So many old friends. And the student trustees all grown up. Oh. Anyway, that was terrific. Thank you. Next, we have videos from two highly valued partners from the California State Legislature, Assembly Speaker and ex officio board member Anthony Rendon and Senate President pro tempore Tony Atkins, each of whom will be honoring Chancellor White with a framed resolution as well.
Congratulations, Tim, on your retirement. This resolution is just a small acknowledgement of the great debt California owes you for your service to our students and to our universities. I can't list everything you've done, but I can focus on your commitment to opening doors. When dreamers found their educations and futures threatened nationally, you stood up with advocacy and support. By using the graduation initiative to target racial and economic inequities, you bettered the lives of countless students and, by extension, California at large. The recent election showed it is high time for women to dream of the White House. By elevating women to Cal State campus presidencies, you have put a spotlight on role models for those aspiring in every field. On behalf of the Assembly, I thank you for your years of partnership in the field of higher education, and I wish you the best for your future.
Hello, Chancellor White and trustees. Senate President pro tempore Tony Atkins here. Let me start by saying, on behalf of my colleagues and I, congratulations, Tim. You have had an inspiring career leading California's public universities, from your time as president of the University of California, Riverside, to your years serving as chancellor of our California State University system. And least we not forget, as undercover boss. But I digress. As CSU Chancellor, you have successfully led one of the nation's largest and most diverse public university systems through times of triumph and most recently through the unprecedented challenge of a global pandemic. As Speaker of the Assembly, I had the fortunate opportunity to serve alongside you as an ex officio member of the board, and I have said many times to you directly how much I thoroughly enjoyed working with you. And I've continued to enjoy our work together in my time as Senate President pro tem. You've been a true partner in our work on behalf of public higher education in California. Tim, I have a deep respect for your abilities, your affability, and your commitment to building a strong partnership between CSU and the legislature. Not to mention all that you've done for our CSU students, faculty, and staff. You're a genuine leader, Tim. You will be incredibly missed, but never forgotten. Thank you for your service, and I wish you the best in this next chapter of your life. You have earned some serious relaxation, but please don't be a stranger. Like so many, I consider you a friend. Congratulations, Tim.
Thank you. We are so appreciative of the work Speaker Rendon, Pro Tem Atkins, and their colleagues in Sacramento do on behalf of the state of California, the CSU, and our students. Now, from our legislative partners in Washington, D.C., we have videos from Congressman Paul Reese and Congressman Ken Calvert. And I should also note that Senator Dianne Feinstein will be making a statement in the Senate in tribute to Chancellor White and will be sending a printed version of those remarks to the Chancellor in the coming weeks.
Congratulations, Dr. Tim White, on your well-deserved retirement. You have left a lasting mark on California public education, and I'm grateful for the doors you have opened for students in my district and throughout the state of California, and quite frankly, throughout the nation. Over his decades-long career, Dr. White carried with him his belief in the, quote, in the profound possibility of potential, unquote. And as CSU Chancellor, he worked to close the equality gap between underserved students and their peers by launching the Graduation Initiative 2025. And while he led the nation's largest and most diverse four-year public education system, he also worked to ensure that the students could see themselves represented in university leadership. With his commitment, the CSU system achieved more than 50% representation for women for campus presidents. Dr. White is a man of great integrity and character. He is a leader who cares deeply for the people he serves and believes in the cause of education and health equity. And I'm honored to have worked with him at UCR, and I'm thankful for his commitment to improving the lives of others through higher education. The state of California and our nation owes a tremendous amount of gratitude to Dr. White for his service. On behalf of the great people of California's 36th Congressional District, thank you, Dr. White. I am thrilled to join your family and loved ones in celebrating your retirement.
Chancellor White, I want to thank you on behalf of all Californians for your hard work and dedication as the head of our California university system. As a graduate of California State University School, San Diego State, I know firsthand that they provide a world-class education at an affordable tuition. That doesn't just happen by accident. It happens because of the leadership of individuals like yourself. Again, thank you, Tim. I wish you the very, very best.
Our next video comes from a colleague we know and deeply respect from her role as an ex officio member on this board, the Lieutenant Governor of California, Eleni Kounalakis.
For these last 2 years, as an ex officio member of the CSU Board of Trustees, I have truly enjoyed working with Chancellor Tim White. His personal story as an immigrant and first-generation college student himself is deeply inspiring. He has walked the path of the American dream, and his legacy at the CSU, I believe, is that he worked tirelessly to keep the doors of opportunity open for California students by making public higher education more affordable and more accessible here in our beautiful state. Tim worked tirelessly to improve our 4- and 6-year graduation rates and to find and close equity gaps embedded in the system for too long. I also want to commend Tim for his commitment to diverse leadership. More than half of the CSU campuses are now led by women, thanks to Chancellor White's bold vision of equity across our system. Tim, your legacy of service to our students, state, and university will never be forgotten. Thank you.
It's a special honor to introduce our final video before taking action on this item. We will now hear remarks from the President of the California State University Board of Trustees, perhaps better known to all of you as the Governor of the great state of California, Gavin Newsom.
Hey everybody, it's Governor Gavin Newsom, and I just wanted to lend my voice to many other voices in expressing my deep appreciation for Tim White. Not just Tim White in his role as leader of the California state system, but more importantly, just as a person. Tim, you're a decent human being. You have remarkable character, incredible empathy, your willingness to reach out to people that may not always agree with the direction that the Board of Trustees was going, or for that matter, even the state of California, is a demonstrable example of that. You are simply a good person. And I express that just because oftentimes we don't express that enough. We can regale you, others I'm sure have, in videos of all the things you've done to build your extraordinary resume. And I can lend some testament to that because I had the privilege of working with you when I was Lieutenant Governor firsthand, and I know the hard work, your grit, your commitment to the graduation initiative and all the other extraordinary things you did to address the issues of equity and to look at the issues of parity in our system. But more important than anything else, I just want to thank you for leading by example. And always has some decency to reach out, give people a heads up, and just to maintain your collaborative spirit through some very challenging times, none more self-evident than this last year. You didn't have to stick around, you did, and you did it selflessly. And so, I don't know, I can continue to sort of extend my appreciation to you, but let me just sum it up because you got 100 of these damn videos by just thanking you personally, not just professionally, for your example, for your faith and devotion to the cause of social justice and economic justice, because that foundationally is what the CSU system is all about. And thank you for always giving a damn about those that are so often forgotten and left behind. We will miss you, Tim. Congratulations on an extraordinary tenure.
And now, without further ado, the conferral of the title of Chancellor Emeritus on Timothy P. White is an action item before the board. Trustees, please unmute your audio. You have a motion?
So moved.
So moved.
Moved.
Second?
Second.
Before Ms. Kiss takes the roll call, if there are any trustees who would like to offer very brief remarks on this momentous occasion, I welcome them at this time. I see Latifa would like to make a comment.
Sure, I'll be brief. For the new trustees, you probably experienced this. You got a call when you were appointed by the governor. And in my call, when I was appointed, I got a few minutes to be introduced not only to the CSU, but probably one of the greatest men I've ever met. Chancellor White, you are so smart. You are so thoughtful. You care so much about these young people. You care so much about forward-thinking policy. You care so much about California and the nation. And just understanding your life before you got to the CSU, all that you've done, all that you've written, all the people that you've looked after and mentored. You've been a professor, you've been a leader. You really give so many of us a roadmap of what real beautiful public service looks like. You are honest, to the point, consistently thorough, and just what an honor to learn and watch you. And I can't wait to get pictures. Hopefully you'll be on vacation sometime next year when things clear up a little bit. We really love you. Thank you, Chancellor.
Okay, Jane.
want to join in Latifah's remarks. She said it perfectly. The only thing I would add is that the longer you watch Tim White in action, the more impressed you are. That's rare. And Tim, thank you.
Wenda.
So, dear Tim, you have heard the speeches, you've seen the video tributes of the well-deserved accolades for all your outstanding achievements and life-changing accomplishments as our beloved chancellor for the past 7 years. You have been with 42 trustees through ups and downs, laughter and tears, times both sweet and tart of board meetings and phone calls, texts, emails, investitures, convocations, commencements, and now Zoom meetings. I want to thank you for the 20 presidential searches and helping us find our amazing presidents and diversifying them in a remarkably short amount of time. I want to thank you for changing family trees across hundreds of thousands of families. You created the Caring State University with your twin North Stars, and you are our superstar, albeit a servant leader who is humble, gentle, calm, focused, determined, who led with head and a big empathetic heart. I remember after my first board meeting how you shared the story of your family and how you related it to my family's immigrant story, which brought us both to tears, of course. It is my fervent wish that you revel in your well-earned retirement with Karen and Logan. May you enjoy a long, blessed life filled with good health, adventure, delight, and happiness. And I say all of this with my heartfelt thanks and my respect, admiration, affection, and a big, warm virtual hug. Thank you, Tim.
Thank you, Wenda. That was lovely. Jack Clark.
Tim, I had the pleasure to get to know you during your tenure as the Chancellor of UCR. And I'm so honored to be able to be here today as you leave this post. And the best way I can sum you up is there are some people you meet in life that you hope they never leave your life. It's very rare, but you, sir, are one of those people. God bless you.
Thank you, Jack.
Right. Are there anybody else? All right. Oh, I see Mariana.
Yeah, I just wanted to take a quick moment just to briefly talk about how incredible Chancellor White has been in the sense of his constant and proactive leadership, and just really, I guess maybe this is on a personal level too, but being able to always, provide feedback, being always available to explain things, to work on things. And I think that truly has been, the highlight. When I first applied for my student trustee position, it was after attending an in-person Board of Trustees meeting and hearing Chancellor White share his story and his background and being an immigrant. And so I just wanted to say that I have appreciated the strong, vulnerable at times leadership. Your work has truly reflected your core values, and with GI 2025 and everything that you have done for students, we truly appreciate you.
Mariana.
Right. Thank you to my colleagues for those heartfelt remarks. Back to the matter at hand. I have a motion and a second. Ms. Kiss, please take a roll call vote. And trustees, please make sure you're unmuted.
Okay, sorry, it's not technical difficulties this time. Sorry. Trustee Abrego.
Thank you, Tim. Yes.
Trustee Adamson.
On behalf of 3.8 million alumni, yes.
Trustee Arambula.
Yes.
Trustee Carney.
With enormous gratitude, yes.
Trustee Clark.
With blessings, yes.
Trustee Day.
Aye.
Trustee Fagan.
Yes.
Trustee Furstenberg.
I look forward to your next chapter, Tim. It's going to be wonderful.
Trustee Fong.
Absolutely, yes.
Trustee Kames.
Yes.
Chair Kimball.
Absolutely.
Trustee McGrory.
Yes.
Trustee Ortiz-Morfett.
Yes.
Trustee Reyes.
On behalf of 500,000 students, yes.
Trustee Sebelius.
Yes.
Trustee Simon.
Yes, thank you, Tim.
Trustee Steinhauser.
Yes, thank you, Chancellor.
Trustee Taylor.
Aye.
And for the last time, Chancellor White.
I think I have to abstain. But if I could vote, I would vote yes, because I'm very honored by this. Thank you.
Well, congratulations and thank you, Chancellor White.
So this action is unanimously and lovingly approved. Chancellor White, I understand you will momentarily be presented with a beautifully framed resolution detailing with 11 whereases, no less, everything that we appreciate about you. In the interest of time, I will forego a reading and instead save our remaining time for the man of the hour. Tim, I will now turn it over to you for your final reflections.
Well, thank you, Chair Kimball, and my heartfelt thanks to everyone for your extraordinarily kind and quite frankly, humbling comments. As I reflect from time to time on moments in time, by myself or with the gift of others, I push myself to get away from the what or the how of that which I'm contemplating. And I concentrate on the why. For me, contemplating the why is indeed more challenging, but ultimately it provides more insight, more satisfaction, and a clear understanding of what may follow. So why? Why has this moment created so much fuss about me? Now, please don't misunderstand. I am appreciative and grateful for your sharing of such generous and moving thoughts. But when I contemplate the why, I arrive at this. This moment really matters because it's a moment to acknowledge and celebrate what we have achieved together. And it's a moment to seek your forgiveness for things not accomplished during my time with you. And it's a moment for me to thank you, our students, our faculty and staff at every level, our presidents and vice chancellors, the trustees, alumni, the elected officials, the friends of the Cal State University, our foundation governors, the business leaders, for believing in me and constantly reaching, stretching to advance this magnificent university, and thereby advance the lives of our alumni in ways that often startle. I invite you to join me in considering why this moment does matter. And I submit that one reason it fills us with a rightful, shared and compelling sense, a sense of pride. Now, those of you who know me well might find it to be an odd word choice, the word pride. I've never been one to seek or revel in praise. I've, in fact, always seen myself as a bit of an outlier with an improbable life and career. Praise has always made me a little uncomfortable. But that's not the sort of pride I am talking about. That kind of pride, self-satisfaction, taking pleasure in one's own accomplishments, well, to borrow a phrase that type of pride may be filling, but it's not nourishing. However, there's another kind of pride of which my mind, my heart, and my soul seek to speak. And that's the special joy one experiences when someone you respect, someone you love, something you love and believe in accomplishes something special, something meaningful, something great, something brilliant, something epic, something eternal. And I'm thinking about the California State University staff and faculty who have found their life's calling in inspiring and supporting our talented and diverse students in a myriad of ways. Our campus and system leaders who consistently and courageously make principled decisions in the best interest of our students and their future success. Our leadership, academic policies, and operational management that reflect 21st century sensibilities. I'm thinking about our students themselves who, year after year, and especially this year, demonstrate the intellect, the will, and the sheer grit to wrestle to the ground any challenge that stands in their way to achieving their academic and professional goals, elevating their families, communities, and this great state and nation. And how all of us have worked together to advance and will continue to advance the greatest university in the world and all the values that we stand for: inclusive excellence in teaching and learning, equity in all of its dimensions, discovery and creative expression, engagement with community, and the fulfillment of human potential. These are the sources of pride I am feeling now. This answers the question of why this moment in our shared journey matters. And it portends why it matters for you to give Joe Castro the same guidance and support you have given me, because the importance of this university to America and the world will only continue to grow in the years ahead. That is the sort of pride that is sustaining, lasting, indeed nourishing. You've all given me this gift. And while my words probably come up short as they toss and turn in the sea of emotions created by my Argentine limbic system, it is with humility that I thank you from the bottom of my heart for the privilege and honor of serving you as Chancellor. Let me conclude my reflections today with a second word that keeps surfacing in my question to answer the question, why? And that word is promise. And it too is so appropriately applied to the California State University. Think of CSU's promise, our commitment to work with our K-12 and higher education partners to provide authentic access to the transformative power of higher education for current and future generations of Californians from all walks of life. And our commitment to those students once they set foot on a CSU campus or join us virtually, to meet them where they are and provide them with a world-class experience of learning and discovery, and holistic support so that they get every ounce out of their Cal State journey, during which passions are discovered, dreams are formed, knowledge is gained, skills and dispositions are honed, and relationships cemented. Then there's promise in the sense of potential. At the very core, we are in the business of enabling human beings to fulfill their promise, their potential, their promise to self, and their promise as members of society and citizens of the world. And when our students, indeed when all of us, begin to recognize and realize and live our promise, the benefits extend so far beyond self. Our society and economy benefit, our culture and the environment benefit. I opine that our promise positions the CSU as the exemplar for great public universities everywhere that are engaging multicultural populations, bringing innovation and clairvoyance to the teaching and learning space, to the discovery and creative spaces, and in applying existing and new knowledge to the most vexing issues confronting the world. Issues such as renewable energy, equitable quality healthcare, racial reckoning, climate, water, food and housing insecurity, poverty, education, and economic stability. Our promise, their promise. Promise is just one word, but it encompasses so much. 60 years of advancing the CSU's worthy mission and driving California to its brightest future. 3.8 million global alumni positively influencing every sphere of human life, including the space station. And generations of current and future students in whose minds, hearts, and hands will rest the future of our state, nation, and world. Now, I suppose I should close with a rallying cry, a clarion call, imploring you to keep the CSU's promise to current and future students and to California, the nation, and the world. But I'm not going to. I don't need to. And here's why. Earlier, Chair Kimball spoke eloquently of this exciting time in our history, marked by a significant transition in leadership, not just my role, but also among trustees and presidents. But Lily also astutely noted that the CSU is held steady by its mission. Indeed, Cal State is an institution that is constantly changing, but ever constant. Constantly changing with new students, new curriculum, new technologies, advancements in research and creative activity, new forms of creative expression, innovations in teaching and learning, new policies to provide our students with even greater opportunities to advance equity and fundamental fairness, and indeed, changes in leadership. But our core values remain constant, as does our commitment to look to them to guide and inform all that we do and every decision that we make. Consequently, I have great confidence in the future of the California State University. I have confidence because of our collective commitment to shared values. And I have confidence because of my steadfast faith in and great hopes for this and future generations of our extraordinary gifted students. And it's because of my utmost faith in you. This abundance of faith gives me comfort and confidence in all that is next. Because not only do we live our promise, we keep our promises. Thank you.
Thank you, Chancellor White, for your beautiful and moving remarks. But you're not quite off the hook yet. We have a few last reflections of our own, which we will now present in this video tribute.
Every academic journey is marked by milestones. The application, the acceptance, the first day of class, the final exam. Moments of achievement, measures of progress, all leading towards commencement. That pivot point where one life concludes and another life commences. New beginnings. In his 8 years as Chancellor, Tim White's academic journey at the CSU was also marked by milestones. Enrollment growing from 436,000 students to more than 485,000 annually. An all-time high graduation rate for both first-time and transfer students. The selection of new presidents for 20 of the CSU's 23 campuses. a more diverse and representative faculty and staff, a heightened and successful emphasis on closing equity gaps and improving student outcomes, a period of unprecedented growth in philanthropic support, with annual gift commitments rising more than 90%. His leadership journey spanned incomprehensible tragedies and unexpected triumphs, unimaginable natural disasters, and unbelievable acts of courage, a world of possibilities, and a global pandemic. And through it all, he never lost his sense of humor, his faith in humanity, or his commitment to the CSU mission. He remained strong and steady, resilient and resolute, the constant North Star he so often spoke about. The impact of Chancellor Timothy P. White on the California State University, and indeed on California itself, will last for generations. So, this is not a farewell, but a celebration of that final milestone in every academic journey, a graduation ceremony, the commencement of a new journey. For honors earned and recognition richly deserved, we wish you well on your next voyage in life, Chancellor White, and bestow on you our deepest gratitude and affection. Thank you, Tim, for a job well done.
Beautiful. The board will now convene into closed session.